Because the thing is, it kind of doesn't always matter where we are. We have these experiences regardless.
Right.
And so I think that humanity is what you're gonna really take.
Before we decide what happened, ask this: why now? Who gains if the internet crowns a villain before the facts show up? Is silence a confession, or a strategy that always gets misread? If a rumor trends long enough, does it become true by default? And when Alicia Keys stays calm through the noise, what's she really telling us? Let's pull the thread. Receipts versus repetition, names versus narratives, and the moment a whisper starts printing money. Before we pull it, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It tells the algorithm you want more untangled stories. They look like 3 separate headlines, but this is one timeline. Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz got married in 2010, built a blended family, and kept showing up with the kind of steady, public milestones you can't fake for 15 years.
Your wish is to have a partner in the scene that is cool and patient and understanding, so it does.
Lala Anthony married Carmelo the same year, separated in 2017, and filed for divorce in 2021. None of that is rumor, that's on paper. The names are familiar, the dates are real, and the stakes are why people care. But thin facts are never enough for a thick narrative, so the story keeps reaching backward for fuel. If you want to see how this keeps reigniting, you have to walk back to a spark from 2009.
He wanted to know why I couldn't go see him at his dad's, and why can't his dad come over and see his bedroom at our house? It was really a wake-up call. Even if we don't want to for ourselves right now, we have to do it for him because he doesn't deserve this.
Mashonda, Swizz's ex, published an open letter that made early headlines and shaped how some folks saw Alicia and Swizz from the jump. Even as years passed and everyone leaned into mature co-parenting, the internet kept its first impression in a glass case like evidence. It turned one woman's choice to stay graceful and quiet into a permanent Rorschach test.
Like, people are forgetting when she moved into Swizz and them's house to work on the music with him, he was still married to his wife, living in that same house.
Ooh.
And then she moved in while she was cool with the wife.
Right.
It's plotting to steal her husband to cover up the fact.
People projected what they wanted to see, either a saint who refuses to argue with the mess, or a wife hiding a wound. And once an origin story is set, everything after it gets graded on a curve. Fast forward to December 2021, when a radio personality repeated an allegation she says came from someone in Swizz's circle, an affair with Lala. The clip ricocheted, the comments went wild, and then the one thing you could point to as an actual response landed. Swizz basically said, knock it off.
You know, I can't lean on what I did before. I gotta put my feet in the paint today and work.
No photos, no text, no verified receipts, just an echo that knew how to multiply. In a feed built to reward outrage, maybe is often louder than no. And the louder maybe gets, the easier it is to mistake it for proof when it comes back around. A rumor doesn't need evidence to grow. It needs timing and oxygen. In 2025, the same whisper returned wearing a megaphone. Posts about secret fights, hush separations, and a phantom, other woman storyline. Most of it was smoke. The divorce chatter looked big online and then deflated when you poked it. Meanwhile, the public-facing milestones looked a lot less dramatic. Anniversary notes, family moments, everyday life. 2 realities living side by side. A rumor economy built for clicks, and a family still doing ordinary public family things. And that's where the laziest math sneaks in. Single plus visible plus industry equals guilt by vibe. Lala is not a background character in anyone's marriage. She started in music TV, turned herself into a working actor and producer, wrote best-selling books, and built a brand around independence and growth. After filing for divorce in 2021, she said the process was really hard and that she's not rushing to marry again. More recently, she's leaned even harder into keeping her relationships private. That's not scandal. That's self-preservation after you've lived through the noise. Visibility is her job. Premieres, campaigns, roles, and visibility gets twisted into proof by people who never needed proof in the first place. And on the other side of the board is a producer who treats culture like oxygen. Swizz isn't just a hit machine, he's a connector. He and Alicia built a reputation as patrons, collecting art, championing artists, hosting projects that put creators first. Those aren't ordinary rooms. They're openings, galas, and salons where power networks overlap and camera phones never sleep. In spaces like that, a casual congratulations becomes a signal, a laugh becomes an angle, and a photo becomes a smoking gun without ever being evidence. When your work lives in public, your life gets drafted as content whether you post it or not. Which is why the real question isn't who whispered, but who benefits when it spreads. Gossip isn't just messy, it's functional. It moves money. It nudges casting decisions. It spooks sponsors and stirs fan bases at the exact moment somebody's launching a tour, a show, or a campaign. The timing is rarely an accident. Drop a whisper when pre-sales open. Push a clip right before an award nod. Suddenly, a private couple becomes the internet soap opera, whether they signed up or not. The algorithm doesn't care whether it's true. It cares whether it's sticky. And nothing sticks like a story that lets you feel like you solved a mystery from the comfort of your comments section. But stickiness is not fairness, and the imbalance shows up the moment a woman enters the frame. Bias is the quiet narrator here. When a man is charming, plugged in, and always in motion, people call him complex or a mover. When a woman is single, visible, and successful, the same crowd rebrands her as messy, calculating, or looking for a come-up. That gap doesn't just live in comments. It shows up in meetings. It shows up in casting calls. It shows up when a brand says, "We love her, but let's wait a quarter and see how the chatter shakes out." Teehee rumor held the door closed just long enough for someone else to walk through it. This is how narratives tilt careers. A man can wear scandal-like cologne and still get described as magnetic. A woman can do the work, stack the credits, deliver the numbers, and still walk into a room where someone has decided she's a headline first and a professional second. It's the oldest trick in the book. Pin the chaos on her, crown him complicated, and let the public do the rest. It's even subtler in the day-to-day. A friendly photo becomes she's plotting. A networking dinner becomes she's targeting. A laugh at an event turns into body language breakdowns by people who never bothered with context. That's the machine. Repackage normal life as coded signals, then sell the decoding. And once you're labeled, you don't get to be neutral again. Every move is evidence. Every silence is an admission. You can't win a game where the scoreboard is feelings. The cost isn't just PR. It's mental bandwidth. It's how much energy a woman has to spend preempting a storyline that didn't exist until someone needed content. It's the caution she has to carry into rooms that used to be fun. When she keeps her dating life private, she's hiding something. If she posts joy, she's performing. If she gets seen with anyone, she's shopping. This is what bias does. It turns ordinary choices into conspiracies and then bills the target for cleanup. And then there's the part the timeline never counts. Family. Search results outlive outrage. Kids inherit narratives they didn't write. Teenagers get asked questions at practice because somebody's parent watched a video over breakfast. A teacher sees a trending clip and thinks they know the family. Coaches, classmates, relatives 3 states away. Everyone becomes an unpaid archivist of the worst version of the story. By the time a child learns to Google, the internet has already told them who their parents are supposed to be. That digital permanence rewires grown-ups, too. You start pre-editing your life. You rethink your friends. You skip the event. You decline the panel. Not because you did anything wrong, but because the angle writes itself whether you show up or not. That's the part people miss when they joke that it's just gossip. It isn't. It's a quiet tax on opportunity. It's a toll booth between talent and the next job. It's a filter a woman has to pass through just to be seen as what she has always been. And the machine keeps humming because it's profitable. A vague source earns attention without risk. A spicy headline drives shares without verification. The algorithm doesn't care about fair, it cares about friction. If a rumor places a woman at the center, it's pre-loaded with friction. That's why these plots stick to certain targets and slide off others. It's not chance, it's supply and demand. So when you watch this story spin, clock the pattern. The same facts get repackaged. The same insinuations are sold in new containers. The same double standard decides who's allowed to heal quietly and who gets dragged for breathing. That's not entertainment. That's engineering. And the collateral isn't just a few hurt feelings online. It's contracts, futures, and kids who didn't sign up for any of it. Which brings us to the only question that actually matters. After all this noise, what can we say with certainty and what are we just recycling because it sounds familiar? Start at the table, not the timeline. Proof lives on the table. Dates, documents, on-the-record statements. Public milestones anyone can verify. Patterns live on the wall, connected with string, annotated with guesses, impressive from a distance, and useless up close. Most viral scandals mix the two until nobody remembers which is which. Don't fall for it. Here's how to separate them. If a claim arrives with heat, but no handle, no names willing to attach themselves, no artifacts you can examine, no timeline you can cross-check, it's not proof. It's a feeling packaged as a fact. If a claim is old news wearing new makeup, recycled angles, decade-old sparks, clips that never show the context, it's not proof. It's nostalgia for outrage. If a claim demands you connect the dots, but never hands you the dots, it's not proof. It's a prompt designed to make you do the labor the accuser refused to do. Proof behaves differently. Proof sits there whether you like it or not. It doesn't need you to go viral, it needs you to read. It outlasts the cycle because it can be checked tomorrow, next month, next year. Proof is patient. Rumor is urgent. When you see urgency without patience, you're looking at a storyline trying to beat the truth to your attention. Now lay the pieces down. Long marriage, public family moments, shared work in music and art. Visible, consistent, and easy to verify. A 2021 allegation amplified by a radio voice, followed by a blunt pushback and no receipts. Another wave years later, louder, busier, emptier. The current on-record posture, privacy, normal life, and the kind of public milestones that don't line up with the doom people keep predicting. That's the table. Everything else is the wall. Why does the wall win so often? Because it feels like detective work. It invites you to solve something. It flatters you into believing you saw what others missed. That's the seduction. You trade certainty for excitement and call it insight. But a pattern you want to be true will always look proven if you're the one drawing the arrows. So try a different habit. When a new reveal drops, ask 5 quick questions. Who said it with their name on it? What exactly happened, down to the date and the room? Where's the artifact, photo, document, message, unaltered and traceable? Why now? What launch, award, deal, or pushes within arm's length? And how does this claim collide with the public record? If those questions come back empty, you don't have a revelation. You have a sales pitch. This isn't about taking sides. It's about refusing to let repetition impersonate evidence. Patterns tell you where to look. Proof tells you what's there. Until the two meet, the fair answer is simple and wildly underrated online: we don't know. We don't know is not weakness. It's integrity. It's how you protect real stories from being drowned out by stories that only sound good. And that's the point of this whole breakdown. Not to crown a saint or out a villain, but to restore weight to the word receipt. To remind you that a family's ordinary day counts louder than a thread with 1,000 exclamation points. To show how quickly a decade of consistent reality can get repainted by a week of loud speculation. And how easy it is to hand your judgment over to the loudest voice in the room. So step back from the wall. Look at the table. If the evidence changes, the story changes with it. If the evidence doesn't, the noise can keep screaming while the facts keep standing. That's not glamorous. It won't trend like a cliffhanger, but it will leave you with something better than adrenaline. The truth you can live with after the comments close. And if you want more of that, less echo, more evidence, you already know what to do. If you want more breakdowns that separate signal from noise, tap like, subscribe, and hit the bell. We've got more timelines to unwind, and next time, we're bringing the receipts before the rumor even knows where to trend. Who do you think's gonna be the next person in the limelight? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get the latest celebrity news and updates. I'll see y'all on the next one.